Aloha, Coach Thane here with the Big Island Sports Network and the premiere episode of Big Island Scout, a program that focuses on the top college prospects from throughout the BIIF. Now, football season is just around the corner, so for the premiere episode, we're going to focus on BIIF football. Now, we made it up to Honoka'a recently for Bobby M. Bernatti's Primetime Clinic, and we've got some highlights from that for you. We had an opportunity to speak with Sam Wuching, Kealakehe grad, recent University of Washington grad, about what it takes to be a D1 athlete. And then finally, we've got some highlights from the East Side 7-on-7 action that's been happening and some of the lineman challenges. So stay tuned for the premiere episode of Big Island Scout.
Always good to get out to Honoka'a for the Primetime Clinic. Bobby M. Bernatti always puts on a good show. Jamie Carvalho getting the boys pumped and ready to go first thing in the morning with the Primetime chant. If you've spent much time listening to me, you know I look at the quarterbacks first. It's early in the summer, but Ka'ale Tioganko has had the field pretty much to himself. Austin Ewing's been on the mainland. Duarte hasn't been playing for Cam yet, so he's made the most of it and has stood out. Of course, he's got some receivers that are working hard for him, but he's in a situation this year where he's going to be recruited heavily. It's an interesting year because of the change in the academic requirements, so a lot of counselors suggested that the kids hold off and take the SAT this year, so he's still got to do that. So there's some academic work that remains to be done for Ka'ale, but based on the previous 3 years, as long as he keeps playing the way he's playing, there'll certainly be some schools looking to add him to the roster. As a quarterback, maybe at the D3 NAIA level, but certainly if you watched his early career, you know he can play some wide receiver, you know he can play some DB, so certainly some D2 and D1 schools may weigh in there and just want him as an athlete. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see what happens with Ka'ale the rest of the season. Another player I've been high on for a few years is Ethan McBraun from Waiakea. A solid three-way player, defense, offense, and special teams. A little undersized, but certainly there'll be some D3 NAIA schools that will be interested in his services. While you can get a reasonable feel for skill players in 7-on-7, it's tough to evaluate linemen without pads on. So I reserve judgment, but bottom line is the big boys are doing work, getting ready for the season, and once they strap the pads on and we have an idea of how it all starts shaking out, then we'll start making some recommendations on who to keep an eye on for the rest of the season. we had a chance to catch up with Sam Wuching at the party celebrating his graduation from the University of Washington. Sam still has a year of eligibility left and shared some thoughts on what it takes to be a D1 athlete.
So give us a sense of the level of commitment that it takes to be a D1 athlete and pursue a graduation really before your eligibility expires.
So the level of commitment is off the roof. I mean, it's weekends you're staying in, you're studying extra because football and any D1 sport, college sport, that's a full-time job. So you're working way past 40 hours a week. You're grinding, your film work, and then at the same time you need to get academics in their school too. So it's kind of like balancing that out and getting that time in to study as well as your the time to get better in your sport. And it takes a lot out of you, but it's all worth it at the end.
I mean, is there any free time for an athlete and a student at your level?
I mean, there's some free time, to squeeze in there. But I mean, I guess you could say the most free time is, on our way to the showers or, on our way to go eat breakfast with the team or something like that.
Right
Walking to classes, those are our main things.
Now, what role did football play in getting you to a university, of the size and quality of UW?
So, about sophomore year of high school, I decided, hey, I'd like to pursue, higher education, however that may be. And, I started to get good at football, and I decided, hey, I'm gonna use football as a path, to get to that level of academics and, just working hard, changing the norms, instead of kicking back here, I was putting in work, and yeah, just working toward that. That's the main thing.
Now, I kind of know. I know you went in with a high 3, pushing on the 4.0 grade point average coming out of here. Do you think you would have got the looks that you got had your grade point average been any lower than that?
Oh, no, for sure not. Because that's the first thing colleges ask for any of the kids here. It's like, what's your grades? Let me see your transcripts right away. Let me see the classes you're taking. Are they rigorous? Are they laid back classes? Yeah, that's the main thing.
For people who haven't followed your career, they may not know that you've had to change positions about 3 or 4 times, both sides of the ball, and you've been an integral part of the special teams. Mm-hmm. So talk about the the perseverance, the attitude that it takes to deal with those type of changes and get to where you've gotten today.
So as you know, I started off as a running back, fullback, going into the university. I redshirted a year, and then I was the starting fullback freshman year, and that position kind of was getting eliminated in college football. So it was diminishing. It was like barely any plays, and then I was like, hey, coach, I think at my skill set, my rugby background, I think I'd be good on defense if I could try that. And he's like, yeah, I think that's an awesome change when Coach Peterson came over. So I got that, and I was playing DN right away. 230, 6'4", playing DN. I mean, that's it's tiny, it's puny. And then after that, I switched to the buck linebacker, which is kind of a hybrid. And this year, I'm at Sam linebacker right now. So, I mean, there was a whole bunch of perseverance. Days thinking like, hey, I'm not good enough, or I put in all this work and now I have to change positions again. But I mean, I think all of that led up to this point now, and I'm succeeding at this position I'm at now, and I could be no more grateful than that.
So I don't know if you've thought about this, but or if you've circled this date on the calendar, but October 22nd, I don't know if it means anything to you, but homecoming against OSU could be a pretty exciting game, specifically because we've got you and Shane Brostick on UW, and then the boys are coming in from OSU there, and we're looking at Manasseh Hungalu, and we're looking at David Fangupo and Drew Kell. So it should be exciting. Have you thought much about what it's going to be like to see that many of guys you've played against on the island on the other side of the ball?
Actually, not really. I'm focused on the first game. I'm not even thinking to the second game. But just you saying that, I mean, it's going to be great to see those guys because, there's rivalries in college football. There's all these kind of, ups and downs. But what I love is to see other Islanders that came from the islands succeeding. And, it's going to be great after the game, getting to hug those guys, getting to shake their hand, saying how proud I am with them for them, and to play them on the homecoming, that's even more exciting to share. I don't really know what I'm going to talk about, but I do at the same time because I'm a college graduate and I should know, right?
You just started.
All right, so this might be a little different. Maybe might take it as a motivational speech or words of encouragement for anyone in here, not just the youth, not just the my age, but the adults too, the elders. So there's 3 things I want to talk about today, and I'll talk about the first one right now. And these are all the things that I feel I grasped through my college career, being away from home. Things that I really have been pondering on and really felt like I grew the most in. So the first would be work ethic. That's something that it can't be taught. You can have the most skill in the world. This can apply to anything. This can apply to your work. This can apply to school. If you're in high school, this can apply to if you're a boss, if you're an athlete. This can apply to anything in life. So, work ethic, just putting your mind to something and being persistent and accomplishing that. So that was one of the main things. And there's this Latin phrase called carpe diem. Anyone know what that means? Seize the day, exactly. Seize the day. So just go about your days just with that mentality, like persistent. Seize the day. Do as good as I can every day and keep on getting better. Like Rome wasn't built overnight. I mean, the islands weren't unified in 1 week. Just simple things like that. And the second thing I want to talk about is changing the norm. So for me, it was hard going to far off place, university, away from home. I'm used to after school being able to hang with the friends, go to the beach, just kick back. And I really encourage you guys to change the norm. So I mean, you can go about your day, doing the same thing, just constantly, kind of like not inclining. It's just a straight pattern like that, straight line. I encourage you guys to every day take steps to get better at whatever you do. Change the norm. Don't be normal in life. Don't settle for less, I guess. Just take that step to get to wherever that may be. Being a boss, being a great husband, being a great wife, being a great father, daughter to your kids, a great friend, simple things like that. And the third thing I want to talk about is love. And this is the most important ingredient to anything, is love.
Amen.
Because without love, things aren't enjoyable. Things aren't the same. I mean, you can just like, for instance, a father, if you don't love your son or your daughter, I mean, why even, it's just stuff like that. Like for me, if I don't love football, what am I doing waking up at 5:30 a.m. every morning, working out 6 to 7 days a week? I mean, if I don't love that, I'm doing that for nothing, which is a waste of time, and you never want to waste time because time is precious. And there's this phrase here. My head coach, Coach Chris Peterson, he says, "Be a real man." And you need to think like, hey, what's a real man? Everyone nowadays like, son, suck it up, be a real man. Or, hey, come on, be a man. Jump off this cliff. Or, be a man, like, suit up. But what my coach says is, a real man is a family man.
Amen.
He's a family man. So, one day in a meeting, he was like, you guys, think of someone who really inspired you with that real man, family man mentality. So he asked that to me, and I was like, I was kind of stumbled. I was like, I don't think I have one because I have too many. And I just want to thank all the men here that have came to this party and men that have known me through my life that really set that role model of being a real man. And I know all of you guys in here are you know, that guy that I look up to. You know, every day, different things. You know, I'm thinking like, oh, what would Uncle do? What would these guys do? You guys are inspiring me every day when I wake up. And for the women here too, you know, when I get married, I hope that they have half the intelligence, strength, gorgeousness.
He is smart. He is smart, isn't he?
Courage of all the women here, and I just want to thank you guys for being a part of my life. And just some final things. I'm going to my. I just graduated with medical anthropology, and first in my family to do so. I'm very proud to say that. And so medical anthropology, if you don't know, anthropology, study of people, cultures, a whole hoorah. And so basically the medical anthropology side of it is so going to like a different culture, learning that culture, embracing it, learning how they diagnose diseases, learning how they treat diseases, how they view them. Are they treated by this witch doctor? Are they treated by this herbalist? And then once I learned that, you know, I'm providing a two-way street with this biomedicine, this Western medicine. Come in there and you know, say, hey, you got a broken arm, you do it like this way, but you know, there's another way, another route, and you know, we do it this way. So stuff like that. So I graduated with that last weekend, and I leave tomorrow. I start training again, so I have one more year to play. Yeah, and right now I'm the starting linebacker. So,
The East Side teams have been getting together every Wednesday now for a few weeks for 7-on-7 and lineman challenges. Ka'ale Tioganko from Hilo continues to impress. But others are starting to stand out as well. Justin Kanoy, playing free safety for Cam, has been making some big plays. For Kamehameha, last year's JV QB, Ka'imi Like, is getting starting reps with the varsity and making the most of the opportunity. He's not afraid to put the ball up and let the receivers go after it.
Oh, good D.
He also has the touch to drop it in over the DBs, as evidenced with this pass to Israel Bowden, another player we're going to keep our eye on this season. And now let's see what the linemen have been up to during the 7-on-7 drills. Coach is doing a good job this year of keeping the linemen involved during the 7-on-7 program, having a little fun with the tug of war. Kamehameha versus Hilo first up. Coach Jordan imploring Hilo to pull harder, and they take the first one. Keao.
Wow.
Big boys doing work for the Cougars. Take this one easily. Coach De La Cruz gets them going. And again, this is Hilo with a victory over Waiakea. The linemen are being given plenty of opportunities to get better at footwork and hand fighting during the off-season. We look forward to that paying off once they put the pads on.
Nice. Up to your feet. Stop it. Full Trey. Come on, Trey. Good set. Hands. Watch the pull. Step. Good. Hands, set. Stop! Sit, Chandler, sit! Good.
Good work, good work.
Mahalo for watching Big Island Scout. Be on the lookout for our next episode as we continue to focus on BIIF football and work BIIF girls volleyball into the mix. Aloha.